Dust.SWS. Right, more games coming up for you guys. We've got Love Your Girlfriend's Kiddin playing up again against Dust.SWS, and it's on Yonsu, a new map. I love this map as well. I have yet had the pleasure to play on it, but spawning up in the top right hand position for Love Your Girlfriend, it is Kiddin. He's playing Zerg in light pink. I love this color as well. His opponent playing Protoss, tricking me with his Terran portrait. It is Dust.SWS. I'm not quite sure on the pronunciation of that again, but I'm going to go with SWS. There's not really a lot that you can do with that. Maybe Seuss or kind of something like that. You know, like how Gosu User has Gosu User as a W. But anyway, PVZ. We've seen one PVZ already tonight. Looks to be the order of the day as well. Not too many Terrans being fielded from either of these guys. Just HDO Mario in that first game of the series. Neither of these players so far opening up with anything too extreme either. Oh, I beg your pardon. I'm not looking at the map. Did miss that one, but actually there is a pylon going down. Almost the exact opposite of what I said. Pylon going down in the natural for SWS. So, and he's actually just waiting on 10 supply. So, and he's saving up his money. He's probably going to plant a gateway. Yep, there we go. Wouldn't be surprised to see a second one going down as well. Getting some proxy zealots coming out as well. Has gone up to 11 though, so he is probing again. I wonder if he'll go up to a second gateway here. Probe comes into the main. Not going to be able to see a lot as Kiddin doesn't have anything in the way of tech. And yet this gateway is reaching 50%, 65% completion. Pull goes down. And is this drone going to be able to spot this? No, it doesn't. He's chasing away the probe, but hasn't seen the gateways. So that could really catch his opponent off guard. Just the one gateway though, so it's not going to be a terrible amount of pressure. And with the pull first, he's going to be able to get Lings out, you know, reasonably quickly. But this is certainly unorthodox, and it could catch his opponent off guard. I think it's a clever play. I think it's quite inventive. And of course, yeah, he is chrono boosting the gateways as well. So he's going to be able to get some zealots out really quickly here. And this hatchery might even get cancelled. We'll have to wait and see. One zealot is not enough to cancel it on its own, but you know, a couple might be able to do the job as well. And now Kiddin's going to be like, hey, come on, how did I not scout this? But actually, sometimes the most obvious proxy locations are the ones that end up not getting scouted. This was such a cheeky hide coming out here from S. Right in the natural, of course. Two zealots now working their way on the hatchery, and unfortunately for Kiddin, this looks like it might even get cancelled at this point. Four Lings in production, but of course 4 Lings is not enough to deal with 2 zealots and more to come. He's going to need to be at plenty more Lings and probably queens and spines. Playing smartly, getting the spine caller up in the mineral line as well, getting a queen on the go as well. Taking gas to look to get speed. He's like, I'm not going to be able to take this expansion. And look, there he goes, cancels it, saves the drone, good job. I was kind of worried he wasn't going to be able to get the cancel at that point, but those Lings need to be careful. They do run past, do a nice run by as well, and they could actually do a little bit of damage. In fact, there are 2 Lings already at the natural, and they're going to already start working on the cannons. Probes having to be pulled from the mineral line, and this cannon might go down as 2 more Lings arrive, and this is plenty of Lings here. This is enough to give SWS a little bit of a headache. Unfortunately, I don't think the Lings are going to be able to completely deny mining here, deny the cannon. But no, actually, as 2 more Lings arrive, this cannon goes down. And the surround from the probes is good, though. The surround from the probes is good. Most of these Lings are going to die. In fact, all of them should die, but not before several probes did go down in the end. 4 probes in total have gone down, so not bad at all. But SWS has actually got 4 zealots just kind of camping at the ramp of the main of Kiddin. Kiddin, unfortunately, is now confined to 1 base. He's planted a Roach Warren, which is a smart idea, and these 2 Lings... Oh, actually, in fact, yeah, we've got a hatchery in the main come down as well. Wow, this game is just kind of crazy. Kiddin planting a hatch in the main, and this is actually getting completely surrounded by probes. I think it's going to be able to get a cancel on it, unfortunately. Yeah, it does get the cancel. No dice for Kiddin. That probe, though, that drone, they're very unlucky to be able to get that scouted off. And in fact, plants another hatchery too. So as we see Lings and Zealots doing some work on the ramp as well. There's a Queen here to be able to support them as well, but I think this is enough Zealots to be able to push back these Lings. Yeah, they do push this back. I think Roaches would have been a better choice at this point, dealing with these Zealots, but unfortunately that Queen gets itself surrounded, and this hatchery is still in production here in the main. Apologies for missing that the first time around. This is kind of just one of these crazy games. You don't necessarily catch everything. Ling's still being produced in such vast quantities. He does have a Roach Warren, so he could certainly get Roaches to deal with these, but no, gets a decent surround in the end, and these Zealots are going to get cleaned up. And that hopefully will be the end for the Zealot harass coming out from SWS, but no, another Zealot is in production. He's not even aware of where this gateway is, as the hatchery now gets surrounded by the probes again, and I think this amount of probes is going to be able to to get the cancel on this hatchery. It's just, I mean, that's pretty much every probe that he's got bar one on his main mineral line, and I think before this hatchery finishes, and it does finish, he doesn't even cancel it. That's so unlucky for Kiddin. Gets the kill on it, and the Broodlings do spawn, take out a probe. Are they going to get two? Yes. Zealot's still harassing on the natural hatchery as well. Not too much going on. There's actually a roach been made from the hatchery, which has now spawned and is now doing some work on the mineral line. This is ridiculous. Meanwhile, there's a Zealot harassing the hatchery of the natural of Kiddin, and this Zealot is going to get killed off by the Zealots here, but the roach in the main is still doing work. Has got one probe kill, but nicely sandwiching itself in the mineral line. Going to get a couple of probes for its troubles, but good micro coming out from SWS, preventing it from doing too much. And actually, SWS has now walled himself off and got cannons up at the front as well. And as his proxy gateway, the one that started it all, is getting taken apart by these Roaches and Lings, the game might kind of just normalise. Obviously, I think that really SWS is in the slightly more advantageous position, I would say, just slightly. The probe counts and drone counts are relatively even. It's 22 to 20, but the tech. Actually, no, I take that back. Actually, there are advantages to be had on both sides. Kiddin, of course, has got his lair completed as well, so his tech is actually kind of advanced over his opponent. His opponent actually is just now putting down gases in his main and doesn't yet have a cyber core. So if we look at the supplies, in fact, indeed, yeah, it's 50 to 25 to 26 now, although most of that is now in Roaches, of course. Plenty of drones have been reproduced, though, so he's actually now got himself up to 25 drones, but there are just no military units out for SWS, unfortunately, and these Roaches are going to be able to do some decent work here, harassing these front pylons as well. Not going to get a lot of work done with these cannons, unfortunately, but they will still be able to get this pylon on the edge, and maybe even the forge at the front. I'm not quite sure if they're going to be able to outrange the pylons that are just the cannons that are just placed right behind it. Probe kind of going down. Probe kind of going down there to just check and see what's going down, and actually, yeah, here we go. We've got the layers completed, and there is a spire gone down in the main here, so that's the tech choice coming out from Kiddin. I like this choice as well. Of course, his opponent's tech, as we say, is really heavily delayed. This has been a chaotic game, but actually Kiddin's stabilised, and he's now going to work up to some Mutalisks. So I think this is really nice. It's going to be able to let him set the tempo, kind of just control his opponent and keep him contained on these two bases. So really good choice going for these Mutalisks. I would expect him to see him take a third before too long as well. As he does start to drone up, and he's get a nice saturation going down on his main and his natural as well. Would like to see him take a third. Could probably even get away with taking a quick cheeky fourth at this point as well. Stargate has come down from SWS. This hasn't yet been scouted by Kiddin's Overseer, so this could actually catch him off guard. Kiddin, of course, asking what tech he has as well. He wants to know. Proxy DT is the answer, of course, as well. Absolutely standard play in this game. 5 Mutalisks in production, as well as +1 flyer attack, so really committing to the Mutalisks, and I like this choice as well, as I say. Both main and natural are nice and saturated here for Kiddin. SWS guessing that he's going Muto, saying Muto or Hydra. Kiddin saying, well, it's Ultralisks, actually. How do you not know that by now? SWS's Stargate is finishing up as well, so will he go Phoenixes? He kind of needs to, really, if he's going to be able to do anything to thwart these Mutalisks. there goes the first Phoenix, so hopefully if he can chrono a number of these out, he might just be able to hold, but this is plenty of mutas coming down as well. There are tons of cannons at the front in the natural, so the natural and the tech surrounding the natural is kind of safe, but the tech in the main is vulnerable. There are unprotected probes, the mineral lines are unprotected, and these mutalisks are just here able to, just really looking forward to getting a few tasty probes for themselves. Phoenix comes in and unfortunately goes right into a bunch of mutalisks. Are they going to get it? Yeah, they do take it out really, really quickly there. So nice play coming out there. And unfortunately for SWS, his mothership core looks like it's going to get taken out as well. Sentries are in the main. These look like they can get picked off as well. They are in small number. But no, the Mutalist flying straight past them, going in for the main mineral line. And so many probes are now going to get taken out. The Phoenixes are now still getting chrono boosted. He's now only still getting his first one out after losing that initial one. Pylon getting taken out, depowering these gateways as well. There was a second, not an Artosis, but a Tasteless Pylon in support here. Stalkers move up as well. They're going to do enough damage just to be able to chase out these Mutalisks for now. But as we see the third and the fourth base coming up for Kiddin, I think it's safe to say that he is in a commanding lead at this point. Meanwhile, there are things that our Protoss player SWS can do to kind of just, balance the game out just a little bit for him at this point. Getting another Stargate is a good choice. Maybe getting a Fleet Beacon at another point to get Phoenix range out would be a really good idea. His economy is kind of broken at this point. He just has the 2 bases, and he's not really in any position to take a third, really. I mean, his creep's going to have to recede at the normal third position, so that's going to delay him for a significant amount of time. His opponent's throwing down double Evo, looking to finally get some upgrades on the field, and is still churning out the Mutalisks with +1 flyer carapace on the way as well. So these Mutalisks are going to be nice and upgraded as he's got them balling out around, just clumping them up into a ball around the outside of the main of his opponent as well. So they're going to move in and do another round of harassment. There are 4 Phoenixes out, but with the addition of these Corruptors, the amount that the Phoenix can do against this ball of Mutalisks is severely limited, and he's got to be careful. He's going to lose his mothership core, loses it before it's able to deploy the Nexus cannon. So these probes are all going to go down. Unfortunately, the Mutalisks doing great work. They obviously hate these gateways because they keep trying to depower them. And the Corruptors are there going to be able to thwart off these Phoenixes, but there are now 6 Phoenixes, I believe that's out. Yeah, so 6 Phoenixes is going to be able to chase a lot of this away. There's still 3 Hydralisks and a number of Stalkers out as well, so the Protoss does chase this back for the time being, but not before significant amounts of damage were done. If we look at the amount of probe kills now, 25 probes have gone down in total in this game, so our Protoss players' economy has been severely hindered. There are currently no probes mining minerals in the main. Meanwhile, the Phoenix is chasing down these Corruptors. There are 6 of them, as we say. Still looking to have that number, but still, I feel like Kiddin's economy is just overpowering that of his opponents at this point. He's on 4 bases. He's started to mine gas at his third. He's got more Corruptors on the way as well, and he's got his ground upgrades going on as well too. So he's going to look to get up into Hydralisks as well at one point, getting this Groove Spine research and getting his +1/+1 for missile too. So rounding out his tech tree in a nice way, and just looking to trying to overwhelm his opponent with numbers in that good old-fashioned Zergy way. Still making the Corruptors and still throwing a few Mutalisks into the ball as well, but with this many Phoenix, he really will have to commit to it if he wants to get more done. Still, Mutalisks harassing at the third base that's trying to go up here. Zling's just kind of poking around as well. They're not going to do a lot. SWS's Stalkers clear those out. There are enough Mutalisks that they can do a good deal of damage here to the Stalkers, but still, he wants to just play it safe with these. Pulls back into his own kind of map territory as well. Taking a 5th as well. This is one thing you can do when you're going for that kind of Mutalist base composition, or you have Mutas, is you can kind of take bases across the map and kind of defend them just thanks to the speed of your units and the map control that they give you. Ling's running into the third as well. They get chased away by the Protoss army. A Guardian shield going down as well. Obviously very scared of those Lings. And the Fleet Beacon has gone down too, so it looks like SUS is really committing to the Sky Toss at this point. He's got a nice clutch of Phoenix, 9 in total out, and I like that he's not kind of panickingly chronoing them out like frantically. He's kind of seen that the Mutalist numbers for his opponent haven't really gone up too much. At least I think that's what I'm reading from that. Could be mistaken, of course. But Kiddin is now committing back to the ground. He's still making the flyer attack upgrades, and yeah, there are 2 more Phoenixes in production, so he's not forgetting them yet, and in fact getting the Phoenix range upgrade as well. So still going to go up to 11 Phoenixes, but yeah, not overcommitting, but just getting enough to deal with it. Still, this is a really strong Zerg army. He's now maxed out against 108 supply Protoss, and there's just not enough on the ground here, unfortunately, for SWS. Force fields come down, but the Mutalisks kind of don't worry about force fields, and there are enough Corruptors as well to be able to charge down some of these Phoenixes. And once the Ground Army goes, unfortunately, there's going to be nothing to contest to contest the Zerg Ground Army. Is there plenty of Roaches and Hydralisks? And actually, there's the haha GG coming out from SWS, and Kiddin takes another one. Wow, that was a crazy game.